Hey YouTube, it's the FRS in here back with another video, and in this video we are taking the FRS out on a little bit of a drive, and also I'm going to be showing you guys how to use your paddle shifters in your automatic, or control your gears in your automatic, because I got a lot of comments on that, and I also did a video against a stock one of these. If you haven't watched that, you should go check that video out. And she didn't know how to use her gears, so maybe she'll watch this. But so I noticed a lot of people don't know how to use their paddle shifters or shift their gears in an automatic, so I guess I'll show you. Not every automatic car will let you shift your gears, so you need to put that in mind. So for most automatic cars that you're able to shift gears, they'll either have paddle shifters like this, or they'll either have a manual mode, or it could either say an S mode right there, or it could have a different type of shifting, and it could have like 2, 3, 4 and then drive. And that's more of like in the older Hondas and older vehicles, where you'll have to manually shift this into 2, 3, 4. But mine is sequential, so I'm gonna be doing a tutorial on the sequential gearboxes for automatic to better show how to do it, because in the manual ones, when you have to put it in 2, 3, 4, it's kind of more, it's the same setup, but you're not doing it sequentially. So first, let's turn the car on. Of course, let's not turn on the windshield wipers. Seat belts, of course. So when you want to put it in manual mode, of course, or S mode, or you might have a button that say like a sport mode or something, and then that will basically let you physically control the shifting. Like if you're in drive and you use paddle shifters, you can still use it, but eventually the computer will take over and shift for you. So while shifting in manual mode, just so you know that if you mess up or do something wrong, the computer will take over, so you won't destroy anything, so you're perfectly fine, at least for the sequential automatics. I don't know about the manual ones. So as you can see on the speedometer, we're in first gear. So when you're starting out, you're going to be in first gear. So basically I'm going to show you guys how to shift up and shift down. So there's 2 ways to shift up. You can either use this paddle shifter that says the plus, or you can move this stick up and that'll be basically shifting up. Or you can shift down using the paddle shifter with the minus, or shifting down. So pretty simple. That's basically all you have to do to shift up and shift down in your car. Now I'm gonna do a daily driving kind of scenario. So to daily drive, you want to shift before you hit 3,000 RPMs, which is right here. So shift up, I move the stick up, or use the paddle shifters. I like using the stick more because it feels like it's more like manually than the paddle shifters. So when I gain speed, my speedometer reading is gonna go up, and I just do it before I hit 3. And you do this to like save on gas and stuff, going to 3 and stuff. So each gear has a certain speed. Each gear have a certain minimum and top speed. So the higher you go, the higher speed you go in that gear, the higher the RPMs go. And that'll let you know that you need to shift. And for automatics, you don't have to downshift, or you don't have to put it in neutral. You don't have to do none of that stuff, because it will automatically do that. So that's the good thing about automatics. But you can downshift to engine brake and do all that stuff if you want to, but just letting you know you don't have to in an automatic. For the manual ones that you you have to put it in 2, 3, 4. I don't know. This is all just for the auto. I'm just shifting in 3. So I'm gonna show you guys how it is if I didn't change my gear and then left it in a low gear. So right now I'm in 2nd gear, so I'm gonna just continue to accelerate without shifting up. So you hear my car is getting louder and my speed is going up and my RPMs are going up. So I'm gonna shift up. Now my car is quieter, but I'm coming to like a slowdown, so that's why I shift up. So you can feel and hear and tell when you really should shift up. But for daily driving, you should shift before like 3,000 RPMs. Regular driving, like, you know, cruising and stuff like that, you can shift before like 5,000 or something like that. But that is pretty simple. And you can downshift, so just move it down. I'm gonna downshift again. And I usually only downshift when I'm like under 4,000 RPMs. Because when you downshift, it's gonna go to a higher RPM in the next gear. So you wanna make sure that next gear is not gonna bang on the red line. So, you know, and if you're too far into the RPMs, and you try to downshift, the computer is not gonna let you. At least for the sequential gearbox, of course. So that's a good thing. So I'm gonna try to downshift. Hold up. So I'm gonna try to downshift to 1st gear. And it's not letting me. So I'm gonna just shift up. So that's the example of the computer not letting you destroy itself. And that's a good thing with automatics. Like, you can shift your gears without having to break anything or burning your clutch or anything like that. You don't have to push no clutch in. You don't have to do none of that. You can just, you know, just shift. Now I'm going to show you guys how to overtake people and also race people, which you should only do in Mexico, of course. When you start using your gearbox manually, you usually don't go back to automatic. Like, I never really put my car in automatic anymore. So, yeah. So the lower the gear that you're in, the more torque you'll have. So when you're trying to overtake someone or merge on the highway or trying to race, you want to be in like the lowest gear possible. And it really depends on which gear, depending on the car, but the lowest gear possible will have the most torque. So I'm finna merge on the highway, so I'm gonna downshift to 2nd gear. And I'm gonna accelerate. Do it before it hits red line. So now I'm gonna have to show you guys how to overtake someone and stuff like that. So let's say I'm going the speed that I'm going, right? Well, I gotta wait for these cars to go by. Let's say I'm going the speed that I'm going and I want to go around these cars, so I'm gonna someone comes up beside me and say they want to race, and they honk 3 times, so honk, 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 and then we both go. This is me with my foot all the way down to the ground, so I'm not really accelerating. So what you want to do is, also this depends on what type of car you have. They have different power ranges. So if someone comes up beside you, they want to race, say, okay, I downshift to the right gear, so the lowest gear I can get to, that's like not at like 7,000 RPM, but so the lowest gear I can get to, I can downshift again, I think. So this would be the perfect gear for me to race someone if they pull up beside me. So if we honk, 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 1, 2, 3. Accelerated much faster than when I didn't downshift. And you want to shift before you hit red line, of course, so 7,000 RPM. But some cars, their red line is like 6,000. It just depends. But for me, is faster. Me shifting in manual is faster than auto, just because I have a tune that'll let me go to 8,500 RPMs, which is in the red line. But if you don't have a tune, it'll stop you at the red line. So for me personally, manual is faster than me. But usually auto will be faster than you doing it with the paddle shifters. But of course you have to downshift, of course. So I'm gonna show you guys how to actually, like, you know, get the max efficiency out of your automatic with the paddle shifters. So basically the same thing. If someone pulls up beside me and wants to race, they honk, honk, honk. I'm a downshift to the right gear before I go, and they honk. Then I'm gonna put my foot all the way to the ground, and then you switch that to drive. So when you downshift, you want to put your foot all the way to the ground, and then you want to switch your shift knob to drive to make it automatic for the computer to shift for you, because the computer is going to shift faster than you can shift. So if you're on automatic, you should do that when you're racing. But if you're tuned, then, you know, use it manually. So I'm gonna do it again for a demonstration. So downshift, 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 and then 1, 2, 3. But yeah, so that basically covers daily driving and also overtaking people and racing people. If you want more how-to videos or any other